Welcome guys, today we're talking about one of the most famous games in Go history. It's a very famous broken ladder game played by Lee Sedol, one of the most famous Go players of all time. It was played on 2003, April 23rd. At the time, Lee Sedol was a 6-dan professional and his opponent Hong is a 4-dan professional. This is the game that made already one of the most famous Go shapes even more famous, and that is the broken ladder Go shape. First of all, the ladder is something that Go players first learned, and it's the first shape that we all learned, so that it's the first shape that we could read 10, 20, 30 moves ahead in. The ladder is this shape. Black places Atari at 1, forces white to go one way, or else white gets captured. Very often the shape would look something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, until you reach the corner. And this is very famous because the beginner can read dozens of moves ahead, and it's a very, very famous shape. And also famously, the ladder, if there's no stones that break the ladder works, and then the laddered person gets captured. Famously, if there is a ladder breaker, in this case, white has a stone in the path of the coming ladder. Once you reach that white stone, reinforcement stone, this will fail for black, and famously this is super, super bad. All the black stones in this pattern can be captured, and needless to say, reading out the ladder and then seeing if it works or does not work is one of the first hard skills that the Go player picks up. And so if a ladder is broken, it is famously very, very bad to play it out. And so only in very, very rare circumstances does such a broken ladder actually produce a good result for the laddering player. And this game is such a game, and it's one of these games that makes the already famous broken ladder shape even more famous because of a practical application in a real hard contested game, which is even more interesting. So here's how the game started. Remember, Lee Sedol would go on to become 9-dan professional. Right now he is only 6-dan professional, so he's already a professional for some time, but not for very long. As we know, he's one of the most famous Go players in the world. And he would reach 9P, 9-dan professional, very relatively quickly. So this is one of his earlier games, and in the original thumbnail picture, we also see him at his younger self, where you could see his very famous death stare when he sort of stares at his opponent and sort of says, "What are you gonna do?" Without actually putting it into words, which is very interesting. Okay, Lee Sedol is playing black in this game, and this is a very famous devil's knife joseki, very famous before AI days. Nowadays, the counter to this is white pushing in and just capturing the one stone. That's for later. This is the most common joseki shape at the time, and here famously white has two choices: go back like this, or extend forward. And this one, white secures a very nice and big corner, but has a lot of aji left. And so Lee Sedol goes for the cut and the aji that remains. This is a very famous sacrifice joseki where black ends up losing the 5 stones, cutting one stone and then running it out to 5 stones, and then loses all 5 stones. In fact, in this game he loses 6 stones. But famously, black is able to get some sente moves on the outside. If you guys are wondering, this is a very strong ladder that black can play here. Before, when black had 4 liberties, this is a very, very strong move. If white attaries, this is only 3 liberties and white dies, and this is more than 20 points better for black. The counter to this is white playing this diagonal move, and this is a ladder that can follow. So white requires a ladder to work in this case. Of course, the white can only play this joseki basically if the ladder works for him. Okay, so this is a very famous shape. Lee Sedol ends up connecting here, a little unnecessary, but it's okay. And at the end of this, black has 2 liberties left. Black can Atari and form a ladder, but the ladder doesn't work, so the game moves on. Black plays this high approach. This one is a ladder breaking move, or a move that makes the ladder work for black. So white answers here, fixes the ladder. Right now, white has a bit of an advantage. The lower right, many black stones have died, but here is where Lee Sedol is going to start to form his trademark power play. Double approach high. This is a very famous strong shape. In this, when you guys reach this shape, when the opponent does this double high approach, it's important not to split him like this. Black will invade the 3-3, and after this move, you'll see that the hane is too strong for white, and black is gonna cut for a good fight. And if you don't cut black, you yourself will form this inefficient empty triangle shape for white, and white will lose the efficiency fight here. So the key is to just not play this. I know a joseki that looks like this, and then white can pick a place to extend, and then knight's move. This looks fine. Another one is 3-3, and black plays here. Sometimes white can also play this knight's move. In this game, white plays a jump, which is a little bit more efficient than my iron pillar move. And let's see what happens. This is a common follow-up to the bottom shape. So after white plays this Atari, white gets this empty corner, which is all very, very reasonable. So up to here, black only has 2 liberties left in the lower right, so the aji is almost used up. White has a slightly better lower right. This empty corner cancels out the other empty corner, and then 2 moves for 2 moves on the upper left. So here, Lee Sedol plays a very important capture. This makes this very strong, very thick. White plays this jump. White does not want to allow black to seal white in. Even though this is a gote move, the moves that follow this is all sente, and this is white totally being sealed into the corner. And if white wants to do something about it, once you push anywhere, white has to go back, and the same seal in shape is reached. So white didn't want this. That would give black way too much influence, so white jumps here. And black makes an extension. So far, both sides are relatively calm. White plays here to expand the corner. Here comes the interesting part. Here, this whole game has been the lead up. Now comes the very, very interesting part. Here, white wants to play the attach and extend back in sente to have a very strong corner and then move on, maybe counterattack against the surrounding black stones. Here, all black wants to do is exchange this peep and then play this hane. One outside black stone versus one inside white stone is what he thinks is gonna give him a bit of a advantage, and this is very, very sharp. This peep takes advantage of white's jump as opposed to the more popular iron pillar move. And so here, white fights back against it. You can see how, like in the professional games, a relatively small differences in disposition leads to a very big, it leads to like a snowball running, like a rolling snowball effect. So white plays here in order to fight back against the peep. Black pushes, makes a cut. White holds all this position, although noticeably there are many cuts. And so white Ataris, and the next move, white connects. The AI here wants white to go for this kind of a sacrifice shape where white loses the 2 stones. That was not white's plan, so white connects. And here Li Sedou sets up the broken ladder and gets ready to punish white. Here, very famously, so the ladder goes like this, and he plays it out for us, which is very nice. But famously here, black needed to make this ladder very heavy for white. We'll see. So in the game, black played this move, white plays this move, and then white plays the broken ladder shape. Famously, now we see why black played these moves first. If black plays this wedge first, and then plays this Atari, white has a chance to Atari the 3 stones. And if you capture 1 and white captures 3, black does not gain from this trade. This is very good for white. So this is why black has to make this ladder very, very heavy. And so 3 stones, not enough. Why, if you did the same thing in the game, black captures 3 versus white captures 3, it still seems, this is pretty good. Black kind of gains a little bit, but not enough. So that's why Li Sedou plays a force move. These are super bad exchanges, but this is a very, very special circumstance. The ladder does not work for black, and so black plays here. This wedge is very important. It's a sente move against the 4 stones, and very famously, if white plays the Atari move up or down, this gets rid of a lot of white liberties here. Let me make sure I know how to do this. Black Ataris here, of course before these moves, and then Ataris here, and then place this Atari, and then this Atari, white gets totally destroyed. So whatever Atari white makes, as long as black is able to get white into this blob, the ladder would all of a sudden work. And so in the game, white had to fight back this way. And this is where the very famous broken ladder shape happened. This game makes Li Sedou very, very famous. Also, it's a rare case where an actual game makes a theoretical shape, or like a very theoretically very, very nice shape. Like this would be great if it worked in real life, kind of a shape. And this game makes that shape, the broken ladder shape, much more famous than before. So it's a very, very nice, interesting game in this regard. It made a very famous shape even more famous. And of course, it makes both players very famous, makes the game itself more intricate and more fun to play, or more rich than before. And so this is what happens. Black ends up totally failing on the ladder. All these are double Atari shapes. So black's shapes are super weak all over, and these losses are extremely large. But at the end of this, black was able to capture these 5 stones, save the 8 stones, capture these 8, and capture these 8. So 4 different groups versus all the different double Atari weaknesses. Was it worth it? Well, maybe 2 groups would have been about equal. 3 groups, hard to say. 4 groups, definitely worth it. And so the AI evaluation shows, and this was absolutely well done. Again, remember the key was to make this the failed ladder heavy enough where white can't ignore this. This is 4 stones, and then white ends up running this ladder. And at the end of this ladder famously totally doesn't work, and it completely fails. But black was able to get sente and then capture 3 different groups and save 1 group. So this is how at the time they felt this was a little better for black, significantly better. Now we know exactly how much, like 30 to 35 points. Great. And the next, the finishing part of this game would be really like Lee Sedol's like trademark, very aggressive play. He doesn't let up when he's ahead. He decides to destroy White's potential territory on the lower left, and he almost he does this very very tightrope kind of a walk. He almost gets captured here, but at the most crucial game deciding moment, he didn't. This connect would be very dangerous. Black would only have one eye, and Lee Sedol was able to find this super nice attachment move. Famously, White cannot cut and Atari here, because this would capture all of the white stones on this board. So upon finding this key move, Lee Sedol was able to get a Sente, Hane, and Tiger Mouse shape here, and end up getting a Seki on this bottom here. And so this totally destroyed all of the white potential territory on the lower side, and the game would end several moves afterwards. Very, very famous. Black famously was up by like 100 points. This was one of the most lopsided professional versus professional games. Again, this is a game that made the already famous broken ladder shape even more famous by lending credence and making the world and all the Go fans in the world see that, wow, this shape is indeed possible. And so this makes this, playing out a broken ladder and getting the, winning a game because of this is many Go players' dream. And so Lee Sedol was able to fulfill this in scintillating style. Makes him, and he would go on. He probably already was a very famous, up and coming Go player, and this really cemented his legendary status, and his many championships afterwards would again make him one of the greatest ever. That's one of the reasons why they picked Lee Sedol to go up against AlphaGo, and here you can see why. Lastly, a little bit of a shout out to a native North American Go player who also famously played out a broken ladder game. This was Eric Yoder versus Remy Campagny in the 2022 North American Go Federation Professional Qualification Tournament. This was famous for crowning two professionals, Alexander Chi and Kevin Young, but Eric and Remy would go on to third and fourth place. And this game happened here, sets up the ladder at 10, and then 1, 2, 3, and then here Black makes some very, very bad exchanges or losing exchanges, but this ends up getting that one stone, which runs out this ladder at the end. Black would then connect over here, and famously connect here, and then do this double Atari, breaks out this ladder, and then captures here at the end for about something like a 10-point advantage, and at the end Black does win the game. I think from this broken ladder. It's not quite as long as Lee Sedol's game, but it's almost as grand, and certainly just as stylistic. So you guys can check out this game by what I did, Googling broken ladder Eric or something similar, and so great. Hope you guys enjoyed the very famous broken ladder game. Hope you guys enjoy the game as much as I do, and hope you guys find some very interesting things that happen in your games, just like I am finding these interesting games. Alright, signing out. See you guys next time.